staple in Italian American cuisine, are perfect for family dinners, potlucks, or simply dining alone. And I'm going to show you how to fill them up using, oh my goodness, grated zucchini and squash, 2 of each, 1 whole bell pepper. And then we're going to need some freshly made tomato sauce. Oh my goodness, it tastes so good. Some ricotta cheese, some fresh chopped basil, which remember, basil is filled with vitamin K, which is important for the formation of blood clot. And next we have here some mint shallot, and then some fresh salt and pepper. Okay, but first I want to show you how to properly dice a red bell pepper or orange bell pepper. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to trim off the top and the bottom, okay, and then lay it down the bottom like this, and then make your cut right here, okay. And what we're going to do is open it up, okay, and then cut it in half. And now we're going to remove the pale ribs by laying the knife flat. Very, very simple. There you go. Okay, and now you're simply going to slice like this. So we want our bell pepper nice and thin for this recipe. Notice I'm not going at top speed here. You want quality, okay? Uniformity is the key here. Boom. Make sure you remove all the seeds. There you go. Et voila. And so now we're going to line them up and then make our small dice, just like that. Bell peppers are a great source of vitamin C, which is important for the health of our immune system, our hair, our skin, and our nails. Yep. All right, now when it comes to buying zucchini and squash, we want them firm with no soft spots. And I've discovered that the small ones are best because they have less moisture, which is what we want when we are going to saute them, which is what we're going to do before we stuff them in the shells. We need to break down the fibers. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to show you how to grate. I mean, not to show you how to grate, but this is very basic here, okay? Very nice. And then once you get down to this point, you want to go very, very slow. Protect your finger. And I bought this little handguard in Japan many years ago when I was stationed over there as a Navy cook, and still works its magic. Et voila. All right. Let's get to sauteing. All right, so we're going to saute our vegetables in 2 batches and then let it cool before we add the sauce and the cheese. Here we go. You want a nice amount of olive oil in there. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, okay? So this is why we're doing it in 2 batches. That's good enough. First batch is done. When you are sauteing in batches, you want to make sure that you wipe the pan clean because you don't want any burnt pieces in your other batch. All right? Remember that always. Voila. Okay. So our vegetables are completely cooled off. This is our shredded zucchini and squash with shallots and bell pepper. And so what we're gonna do now is we're going to mix in some freshly chopped basil, vitamin K, Parmesan cheese. This cheese is filled with probiotics, which is gut-friendly bacteria that assists with digestion, and it also reduces things like heartburn, gas, and bloating. Next up, we're going to add some ricotta cheese. Oh yes. And guess what? If you have a child who does not like vegetables, sneak them inside their favorite dish, right? Sneak them inside pasta shells. Absolutely. And then next up, we're going to add some freshly made tomato sauce. This one's a winner right here. Because again, as I mentioned, making your own sauce puts you in control over the sodium, over the texture and the flavor of the sauce. And then let's add some salt here, very light, because you know the cheese does have sodium in it. And then we'll just mix it up. On Monday, I'm heading up to Richmond to feature this dish to highlight the essentials for gut health, fiber and probiotics. So when I am on YouTube and I am on Facebook doing these segments, I'm really also practicing to be on television, because when you are filming live, I mean, there's room to make mistakes, but I like to make sure that I start the dish properly and I finish properly and I cover all of my basics, you know, because so many chefs get on TV and I understand, you know, most of us were trained in culinary arts to entertain, but many chefs sadly have very little expertise on nutrition. So I consider it an honor that I had the chance when I was in the Navy to work with a dietitian who inspired me to go back to college to study the human body and nutrition. And so now I merged my culinary education with the nutrition education background, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And we need that. We need that in America, because food is not just about you know, tasting good. Of course, it's supposed to taste good, but food is also medicine. Yeah. All right. Let's add a little bit more cheese. Taste it first. Oh, that's good. That's so good. Let's do a little bit more sauce. It is very important to let your vegetables cool before you add the cheese. Absolutely. A little bit more salt. Let's do a little bit more parmesan. Our oven is set to 375, and we have our glass dish. Our pasta has been cooked. Now, one of the things I want to say to you, when you cook your shells, you want to go below al dente. Al dente means to the bite, to the tooth. You want to go below that, because you want the shells to hold while they're baking in that oven for, what's my timing? 25 minutes, right? So because it wouldn't make any sense for you to cook the shells all the way through and then they're gonna go in the oven and bake for an additional 25 minutes. You don't want them to fall apart, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna layer some sauce in our glass dish and then stuff our shells. Let's do some more. I can't emphasize making your tomato sauce at home enough. If you are diabetic, if you have high blood pressure, if you are on a weight reducing diet, really, actually, we should avoid canned processed food, you know, in general anyway. All right, to stuff our shells, now you can use a pastry bag if you like, but I prefer the spoon. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush at all. Very simple, and voila. That's it. Again, if you got kids who don't like vegetables, stuff them in shells. The next thing we're gonna do is sauce it, cheese it, and bake it. Sauce it, cheese it, bake it. Sauce it, cheese it, bake it. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. You can make this ahead of time, a week ahead of time, and then place this in the freezer until you are ready. Yes. Who said eating healthy has to be boring and bland? Absolutely not. Not. In this kitchen, we eat with a conscience, without sacrificing flavor. All right, so we're gonna cover it up and then bake it in the oven at 375 for 25 minutes. Keep it here.